Oh yeah, this is intense. This is intense. Hey y'all, it's Heather, and I have so much new makeup to test out. I've got the new brushes from Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty. I've got new Unearthly Cosmetics. What's Up Beauty? So many new products. We're gonna be doing a full face, get ready with me, testing new makeup. Starting off, I have a little bit of pencil in my brows to give them a little bit of shape, and I have my skin primed with my Milk Primer. We're gonna use a new foundation. We're testing something, so I wanna keep the primer to one that I know, love, and trust, so that if something is up with my skin, I'll know whether it was the foundation or the primer. Listen, we're sticking with the tried and true, and we're gonna test the Mob foundation. I actually ordered some samples from Mob Beauty. This is their ceramide foundation. It's a cream foundation, and it is supposed to be blurring and a natural radiant finish. I ordered samples online. They have a really cool little option where you can pick out different shades, get a sample, and then you get like a discount code coupon to use if you end up loving your sample and wanting to get a full size. I think that was a really cool option. So I bought 3 of these. We're gonna test them out. And I do apologize for my voice. My allergies, like my skin is a little red today. I have a little bumps on my skin. I'm recovering from an allergic reaction to the outdoors. So please bear with me. I know my voice is kind of frustrating right now. I feel fine though. Let's just swatch out the shades that I bought. The first one is Olive 40. I'll put it right there. And then I also want to swatch on my chest. I normally will swatch a couple of places. If I'm like in store looking for my perfect shade, I'll do my face, I'll do my chest, and then I'll usually do like my arm or something too, just to kind of get different points of reference for the shade on me, because my face will get redness to it because I have allergies and eczema and all kinds of things, and sometimes my chest will. It's a little red today, but I do think it's a good place to swatch and test. So the next shade I'm testing is Olive 60. I'll put that 60 right there. I also got Olive 80. I expected this one to be too dark, but I was wondering if maybe I would need like a deeper mixing shade. So I'll put Olive 80 right there. Definitely too deep for me. Olive 40, definitely too light. Olive 60, I think is what we're gonna go with on my face. And then Olive 80, I have to deepen up if I need to. So I'm gonna play with these samples, wear them, see how it goes. I'm just gonna kind of spread that foundation on my face with my fingers and then blend it with a brush. That is the 60 shade, and I'm gonna pick up just a smidge of the deeper shade to mix in with it. Not a ton though, just a little bit. I'm gonna blend this in using a brush from the first collaboration that BK Beauty did with Nikki LaRose, because we're gonna use her new brushes, her round 2 set later on with some of the other products. But I really like this brush from her first set. Wow, that is giving me more coverage than I anticipated. But wow, it covered the redness that I was having on my face, and it is matching really nicely, like in tone. It's light right now. I know it's light, especially compared to my chest. But let me go ahead and tell you about my skin type, because that's super important when I'm telling you my thoughts on products, right? I have oily skin. I am 38 years old. Yes, 38 years old. And I just had a birthday. That's why I had to do the math really quick. I do have sensitive skin. It is breakout prone. I do deal very bad with allergies. I get rashes, eczema, all of that. I am putting on a little lip oil because my lips are dry. I'm just using this one from Clarins. Like, look how much of that. I'm almost empty with this one. Here's what our foundation is looking like. Natural radiant finish, check. I have it at like a medium coverage, just buffing it in with my brush. I have a concealer from Versed that I want to try. Thank you to everybody who let me know I was saying it Versed. I was like, I don't know how to say it. It looks like Versed. I was thinking of the medication. This is Versed, okay? Like, working in the hospital so many years, I'm like, Versed, okay, all right. Anyways, this is the Skin Solution Serum Concealer. I'm in the shade 60. This is an olive shade, and this concealer is supposed to be a natural finish. It is supposed to be self-setting, and medium coverage. So we are going to see how this does. I think that's gonna look okay. I think that's gonna look okay. It feels very thin. It feels Skin Solution Serum Concealer. It does feel serum-like. It feels very thin. I'm curious if this is gonna give me medium coverage or not. I did put on quite a bit. I'm gonna let it set for a couple of minutes. I like to let like concealer set and kind of warm up on my skin and buff and blend it out. It tends to just like blend better. It gives it a minute to just kind of warm up and I get a little more coverage. I'm gonna just press this in. Oh, okay. That does have nice medium coverage. I was doubting. I was like, is this just gonna be a very thin, almost no coverage concealer? I was curious, but that looks nice. Side to side. I would say this is more of a dewy finish, but we are gonna set it with powder. Just tapping over. That actually did something. That did give me a nice medium coverage. Okay. All right. I could be about this. I could be about that. That looks nice. Put a little bit of that concealer on my chin. Blend it over here. Pouncing it in. I'm just using a sponge, just my beauty blender. What's Up Beauty sent me 3 of their matte liquid blushes. These are called the Rose Hippity matte liquid blushes. That's a cute, interesting name. I know that these are supposed to be blurring. It says they're vegan, skin-loving ingredients. Let's see. Let me swatch these and we'll figure out what shade we want to use. So these are like a puff applicator, like the Charlotte Tilbury style. That's the one I think that's most popular. So let's swatch. I have, what shade did I say? Heirloom? Let's try it. Okay, whoa, okay. There it goes. I'm like, I don't want to get too much. I just want to get a swatch so I can pick out what color. Okay, that is really pretty, really muted and light. I think that is beautiful, but I want to use something a little darker. We're going to use a powder blush too. So we're going to be testing all kinds of new things, but let me just, okay, no, this shade is actually lighter. Okay, ooh, that's light and bright. That's very light and bright. That's so pretty though. Okay, that is the shade Oceana. I pumped out way too much of that shade. That is Leonidas. I think that's the color we'll go in with today because I want to do fall. I want to do fall vibes. Let's do this shade. This looks so pretty. As a part of this collection, they also launched the R205. They sent me this brush. I'm going to pick up that shade that I had on my hand first so I don't waste the product. And let's see, I've never used these liquid blushes before. True first impression on the foundation, the concealer, now this liquid blush. This brush, I haven't used this yet, but I will say I have a lot of What's Up Beauty brushes. I really love their brushes. I think they're such great quality, such great quality. I mean, some of them I've had for years, and I do like them a lot, so I expect the quality of this one to be just as great. I really kind of brought that blush up high. You saw, like, I don't know, I've been kind of into that, and then kind of going over and toning it down a little bit up there, but still kind of having it fade like that. That's a really pretty blush. Now, I just used a little bit, like just what was on my hand for swatching, so I'm gonna add in a little bit more just so we can see. You know, I want to know for you if you can build it up. If you're thinking like, I like that color, but I want it a little more intense, I want to try and see if I can build it up. That's pretty. Okay, so you can definitely go in with more product and build if you want to. And we saw that we could definitely sheer it out. That's pretty. I like that color. I'm going to put the same color. I'm going to put the same color on over here. We are going to be using brushes from the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose Pro Artist Series April Brush Set Volume 2. And we are going to be setting our face with powder. Now, I'm trying out a new concealer. I'm trying out a new foundation. So I'm going to use my setting powder that I know I love. I'm going to use the one from GlamLite. I really love the Bacon Set Banana Cream Powder is the shade that I use from GlamLite, and I want to use this new Nikki LaRose brush. No, if I don't like it, it will be not the powder's fault if I don't like the concealer or the brush, you know? This is the N19. It says it is the ultimate coverage brush. And I did watch Nikki's video, and she said that this is like better than a powder puff or a sponge. I normally like to use like my powder puff to set my under eye, but we are going to coat our brush and we are going to use this instead. So I'm going to press on. She got that sharp edge, that triangle shape that's like a powder puff. And I am going to put on my powder. I use a lot of powder. I have oily skin. I live in a humid place. The other day, the humidity level, 96%, okay? So I like my powder. You definitely don't have to use this amount of powder. But I am oily, living in a humid place. And that worked well. Okay, that worked really well. Okay, I'm just gonna brush away the excess. I know the powder works, I know that, but like the brush with the powder, okay, I'm into it. You could also use it like this to chisel if you want to. I mean, I don't really contour because can you contour chipmunk cheeks like this or a bullfrog cheeks like this? But you could definitely do that, kind of like sculpt out for sure. I'm going to quickly fill in my brows. I don't have a new brow product to test, so I'm just going to use my tried and true favorites. I will, of course, link them down below. I'm going to run my son. He has a lesson. I've got to take him, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to play with some more new makeup. I'm so excited. We are going to be playing with the Unearthly Cosmetics Gothic Romance palette. We're going to be playing with the full collection. I'm just so excited to get these shadows on my eyes. I think this palette looks so beautiful. This is a smaller pan size from Unearthly, the same pan size that they did in Shadowed Sculpt. So I'm excited to play with this palette. We have a great variety of mattes to choose from. All of the rows seem to be like monochromatic rows, so you can kind of stick to each row if you want to, or jump around. And I just want to create something. I really want to start with this orange. This orange shade has been calling to me. It is called Heart's Flame. So I am going to grab an eyeshadow primer and prime my eyes. The Unearthly palette has a nice big mirror, but I did get this handheld mirror sent to me. This is available at Nikki LaRose, the website, makeupbynikkilarose.com, and it is a handheld mirror. I love handheld mirrors, and I want to use this one. So we're going to use this, and I will link everything I talk about today down below in the description box. I'm going to go into that beautiful matte shadow, and I'm going to start by just sweeping this all in my socket, blending back and forth. That is a pigmented matte, and it is looking smooth and buttery and beautiful. This is such a pretty color. I love that. I know it has a green row, and I was initially thinking greens, but I just could not get my mind off of this orange matte. I want to go in with a little bit of Casket Wood, and I'm using a brush from the new Nikki LaRose set. I want to kind of define the outer corner of my lid and then right up to my socket right there. You see this shadow is pigmented. If you don't want to get that much pigment, go in with a very, very light hand and then pick up more shadow as you need it. I am just going to work this here. Got it blended out there and around. I'm not done blending, okay? Don't worry. And around to like halfway underneath my lower lash line, out like this. I grabbed that first blending brush and I'm buffing that in there. I'm grabbing a little bit of the shade Dust of Time, and I'm gonna use my SN20 I know that this is supposed to be great for diffusing eyeshadow, so I thought we would just get a little bit of that shadow and diffuse the outer edges of our look. I want to use a little bit of the shade Golden Veil, and I am actually going to start off by just tapping that on with my finger like that. That is a beautiful, beautiful, shifty, sparkly shadow. I'm using the N24 brush just to kind of smooth that out, kind of blend that shade up into my socket a little bit. I want that like ethereal type of look. My face is already set with powder, so I'm gonna wipe away any fallout that I get. So I'm not worried about that, but man, that is a pretty, pretty shade. Like, it looks like two different shades now that it's like laid over that shade that we have in our socket, doesn't it? Like, it's so pretty. This lid shade is so beautiful. I want to go with a matte inner corner. I want to do Flesh and Bone. This like peachy matte shade that's very light. And I want to just put that on the inner corner so we have a matte light inner corner. I'm just gonna press it on just like that. Nice brightening shade, and then go back with the brush that I used earlier with my shimmery shade and make sure everything is nice and smooth. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm just putting a brown eyeliner in my lower waterline. Once I have that liner on in my waterline, I want to go back into my palette and go into Casket Wood, the deep brown shade that we used on our inner corner. And I'm going to use that just really close to the lash line to give myself like a little bit of like a smudged liner and just diffuse and blend a little bit. This is a really nice small brush for this. I'm gonna put on my Dibs mascara. I've really been enjoying this. I saw a lot of people saying really great things about this, and I bought this. I have an Ulta haul at Ulta Shop With Me if you wanna watch that. And I like this. It's different. Like, there's a primer side that is brown and it has like a spiky wand. Yes, that is what you do first. Double stacked primer and mascara duo. It's the brown primer. And then on the other end, you have your black mascara that's almost like a Too Faced BTS type of wand. So I've been enjoying that. I'm gonna put on my mascara and like curl my lashes. I'm gonna use my Kevyn Aucoin lash curler. Mascara is on, and I realized I had the audio off. So I'm using this LYS True Enlightenment Soft Focus Skin Finishing Powder as bronzer because I saw LYS say that this was like a multi-use product. So I thought it would be pretty to try it out as bronzer. I'm in the shade Courage. And I'm using it with my new Nikki LaRose contour brush. I don't contour, but I do like to bronze to shape my face. And I wanted to use her brush in that way because you can always use your brushes how you want to. I feel like this is giving a very beautiful bronze to my skin. It's definitely different than what I normally do because it is like a finishing powder and I'm just using it as a bronzer. It is a little bit more sheer, so I'm using a little bit more product. Like, I normally wouldn't go in with this much bronzer, but I think it's working really pretty as a bronzer, don't you? I do. I think it's pretty. Now I want to use the Gothic Romance blush palette from Unearthly. I'm so excited about this. This is the Incandescent blush palette. Let's go in. Let's start with a little bit of Blood Oath. I'm going to use my Singe brush. Oh. That's pigmented. I tapped like 3 times into the pan and I should have only tapped in once. And I should have known this. I love Unearthly. I know their blushes. I know they make pigmented products. I should not have picked up that much. but that is okay. We are going to make it work. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Seance Flame, and I'm going to tap this over top to kind of tone this blush down. That is looking so much better. So much better. I'm like, I knew if I blended and brought in that lighter shade, we would be back in business. Before I go in with my highlighter or anything else, I want to go in with my One Size Powder Melt and a fan. This is a glass setting spray. To me, this is not a setting spray. This is a spray that I use to kind of mesh all my powders together if I want to get like an extra glassy finish, and then I will finish with like a mattifying extending wear setting spray at the end. But right now, I'm just gonna spray my face and let the setting spray dry. Now I am gonna go on with a little bit of finishing powder. I like to do this at the end after I've done that glass setting spray, and I can use my Hourglass powders for this. I can use like finishing powder. I am really loving this one from One Size. I reviewed this a while ago because One Size did send me this super early, which I am so thankful for, but I just use this like a finishing powder. I take a little bit on my brush. This is a new brush, the Nikki LaRose N20, and I'm using this, and I just kind of take a little bit and diffuse and buff over kind of my whole face, all of my makeup. I don't bring it in around my pores or my T-zone. I just use this as like a blurring veil to kind of finish off things, perfect. It's that little something something, a glowy finishing powder. If you have oily skin, it can be a great way to get glowy skin if you don't want to be matte, but you don't want to have your makeup melting off your face at the end of the day. Let's go in with highlighter. I bought both of the new shades of the NYX Bridgerton Buttermelt highlighters. I like the Buttermelt highlighter formula, but before this, the only shade I had was the black shade. I talked about that a long time ago in a video, but since this was a collab with Bridgerton, I could not pass it up. I had to buy these. Let's hand swatch these, okay? Finger swatch these, whatever, you know what I mean? This is the Royal Highlighter Bridgerton in Iridescent Peach. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like a duochrome highlighter. It's like pink, then it's like rose gold. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, that is so pretty. Can you see it? Let me do a bigger swatch. That's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty, and it looks like a diamond or something. Like, remember that Too Faced highlighter years ago that looked like a highlighter? I hope I can find a photo of it. Let's look at the next. The NYX Royal Highlighter Bridgerton Light Gold. They didn't get too creative with the names or anything. They were like, yeah, we're not gonna get too creative with the names. That's a beautiful gold. I think both of these with our look would be beautiful since we have that orangey going on, like we have the warmth, but I think peach, right? It has to be peach today. And I am having like intense blush, I know. I'm like, this is intense blush. I'm gonna clean off on my Sigma switch actually, because I thought maybe we could try this, the SN20, the diffuser, like for the eyeshadow. I thought we could use it for face highlighter. I thought it looked like it would be cute for that. That is beautiful. These Buttermelt highlighters are pretty intense. So keep that in mind if you have not tried this formula. It is an intense, really pretty highlight. Just a little bit on the Cupid's bow too, right? Why not? I know some people hate, they think it looks like a highlighter mustache, and that's fine. Don't worry. I definitely will not break into your house and force you to put highlighter on your upper lip like I do. I get it. During the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I bought new lip liners because they were having half off of ABH lip pencils. This is like one of my favorite formulas ever, and they're pricey. So half off, they were like $11, and ABH had come out with new shades. So I decided to buy 4 of the new shades. I thought I would swatch these. This is the shade Amethyst. So it's like a deep, dark purple color. Really pretty, like a blackened purple. I bought the shade Midnight Rouge or Midnight Rogue, which one? I'll swatch that right there. It's a really pretty deep brown. Let's see, let's swatch Cinnamon next to it. Sometimes just swatching something of a different undertone will kind of help you see. the shade difference, you know? So yeah, there we go. You can see that's definitely lighter. And then we have, what is this? Stormy. And this is the gray liner. I was excited about that one just because it's something different, not because I just think gray lips look amazing on me, but it's something fun and different, and I love makeup. And I just like to wear what I like to wear, whether it's something I'm supposed to wear or whether it's a color that looks good on me or not. I just love to play with makeup. So those are beautiful. Let's look at the new liquid lipsticks as a part of this gothic romance from Unearthly because I love their lip formula. This is the Paranormal Plush liquid lipstick, and they come in a really cool component that Unearthly has been doing for a while. Like it's a really cool component. And this is the shade Cadaver. I'm gonna swatch these on my hand for you. Cadaver is a cool gray. Let me see, can we swatch maybe right there? Oh, that would be pretty with Stormy. Stormy, that's the name of the lip color, yeah. That is like gray. That would be so pretty too. Not even just on its own, but to mix in with something else to give it like that cool color. It's like concrete, right? Next, I have the shade Withered Pink. Is it Withered Pink? Withered Kiss. Withered Kiss. There it is right here on my hand. That looks really pretty, right? Like that's really a pretty pinky muted color. This is the shade Still Heart, and this is a really cool toned, really light pinky gray color. And this is Grave Brown. Grave Brown? Grave Bound, good grief. This is a cool toned, kind of mid-tone dark brown. That is pretty. Okay, I think the brown for this look, right? I don't know that the grays, maybe this pinky color, but I think the brown is what we're gonna go for. And I really love Unearthly lip liners. Love Unearthly lip liners. They do remind me a lot in formula of like a MAC lip pencil, and these are $8. I have a lot. Some were sent to me, some I bought myself. There's so many lip liners that would look great with this. Like these, Char, this is a dark brown. This would look great, but I want to use some of my new ABH colors. We swatched all them out. I want to use some of these. I think I will go in with Cinnamon. Let's line our lips with Cinnamon. Okay, lined lips. Let's go in with our lip color. This is like a moussey air whipped type formula. As I'm putting it on, it makes me think of like a Kaleidos lip clay, that type of formula. Not saying they're the same, just saying like as I'm sitting here putting this lipstick on for the first time, that is what it's making me think of. Oh, that's such a pretty color. I did buy the new Bridgerton NYX glosses, and I did not realize until now that I have these shades already. I'm pretty sure these are existing shades from NYX. So it's just the packaging, because this is Angel Food Cake. That is a shade that they already have in their line. I did look at the highlighters and I didn't see the same names translate over, so I think those are actually limited. And then this is Praline, right? Yes, this is another gloss. They already have this shade in their line in the butter glosses, so definitely don't be like me. Check before you buy. I was gonna go in with Praline on top, but I'm kind of loving the matte. Not loving that I got lipstick on my teeth. Sorry, don't know how long that was there for. Let's do setting spray. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm. This is not a first impression. This is a newer product, but I'd already used this, reviewed it, did a side-by-side comparison with the Charlotte Tilbury, shaking it up like Danessa Myricks said. I always do a little test spray to make sure there's nothing wrong. It's not clogged, it's not gonna hurt me, nothing like that. Not gonna ruin my makeup. And I'm gonna get my fan at the ready. And I am gonna use this because I do want this makeup to last, and I could use a little bit of mattifying. So I'm going to just use my little fan, and then I'll grab a sponge. I'll go to the clean side and I'll just kind of press that setting spray into my skin and let the fan blow. You don't have to press it in, it's still fine. I just, you know, A little extra, a little more is more. Here is the look. Now, hear me, listen. Everybody listening? If you are easily upset by faux freckles, this is the time for you to dip out. Bye. I'm so happy you were here. I want to do some faux freckles though. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I just have fun playing with makeup. I bought another freck recently. That's what this product is called. I had one from years ago and I really enjoyed it, but I had not done faux freckles in years. And that one had dried up. It was mostly used up anyways, but I did go ahead and purchase a new one. I just dot freckles on and then I tap them in with my finger, and then whatever is excess on my finger, I pull around. This from Freck is very light, but I wanted to start with this, and then I might go in with a deeper shade depending on our look. Do I want bold freckles, intense freckles, or no? I know a lot of people have freckles and they like to kind of fill them back in after they do their makeup. I do not have freckles naturally, so for me this is just something extra, something fun. It's not that serious, it's just makeup, and I'm having fun with it. I think those are so cute. I want to add in a few deeper ones. Stay in, freckle, whatever. I talked about this before on my channel, but these are definitely darker. Like, this is probably a shade that's a bit too dark for me, but I want a little variety. I don't care. And I feel like kind of just having some fun. Why not? Here is the finished look. It is raining outside today, so I'm not trying to do anything with my hair. It's not going to cooperate anyways. High ponytail it is, frizzle. I really like this makeup look. I love testing and trying new makeup, but I always follow up. So all of the new products you will get follow-up thoughts for after I've tried them multiple times, worn them multiple ways. But this was a fun, like, first impression, testing new makeup. Like, I had fun. We found some wins. Definitely going to use less blush next time, but I overall love this look. I'm going to pop up some more videos here I think you would really enjoy. I will link everything I talked about down below in the description box. Please subscribe before you leave, and let's talk makeup down in the comments.